Good morning, dear children. Today in EVS we will do lesson number 20, food and fun. And a very good morning to all my dear students. Hope you all are fine and safe at home. Today we will start a new lesson in our environment looking around book. That is your lesson number 20. All of you will open your textbooks on page number 154. First of all, you are going to write today's date. That is your 13/2/2021 and classwork. Name of the lesson is chapter 20, food and fun. Last chapter was also related to food that we eat together during some parties, festivals. Then we talked about the midday meal. That is the program that is launched by the government to provide nutritious food to the children of the villages, as well as they can study at school also. Now, in this chapter also, we are going to study about the food that we eat together, but at the different places, not in the schools, but at many of the religious places that we eat together. The charity food that is given at many places, such as gurudwaras, where the people from the Sikh community works and they give services to them. Some provide with the money, some with the material, and some go and work there and provide their services, and then they prepare the food and give the food to each and every one. So here in this lesson we are going to study about one such place, that is the Gurudwara, where the food is eaten together in the form of a langar. The food that is provided in the Gurudwara is called as the langar. So now we'll start our lesson. First, tring, 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 the doorbell rang. Manpreet opened the door. She saw Divya and Swastik there. She called out excitedly, Surjit, look who is there. Now here the story starts with the doorbell ringing at Manpreet's house. Manpreet opened the door and she saw that there were two children standing at the door. They were Divya and Swastik, the friends of Manpreet. Now Manpreet shouted and called her. She was so excited to see both of them. She excitedly called her brother Surjit to come and look who is at the door, who has come. Surjit came running when she saw her friends and hugged. When she saw her friends, she hugged them happily and said, when did you come from hostel? Just yesterday. Where are your parents? We want to meet them, said Swastik. Now सुरजीत जो है वो उसको देखकर, उनके फ्रेंड्स को देखकर बहुत खुश है. वो दौड़ती दौड़ती अंदर से बाहर आई and she saw both her friends Divya and Swastik, and she hugged her happily and she was happy to see them both, because now from this we can make out from when did you come from hostel. That means Divya and Swastik are studying in a hostel in some other place. So they are not staying where Manpreet and Surjit are staying. So they have just come to meet them. So they are asking, when you came from the hostel? Just yesterday, said Swastik. And Divya and Swastik also wanted to meet the parents, their parents also, Manpreet's and Surjit's parents also. But they were not at home. They are at Gurudwara. We were going there too, Surjit replied. Oh, very good. We will also come with you, said Divya. So Surjit said that my parents are at Gurudwara and we were also going to Gurudwara. So Divya said that we will also come with you at Gurudwara. So all of the four of them said together for Gurudwara. You come only in the vacation. Do you like to stay in hostel? You must be missing your parents, Surjit asked. Now Surjit asked Divya about the hostel life, because hostel life is totally different from the life that you enjoy at home. There is fun in the hostel life also, but then there are certain rules and regulations also that has to be followed. The time that you have to get up, the time that you have to sleep at night, your breakfast time, dinner time, lunch time, then there are certain disciplines that you have to follow in the hostel. Everything has to be followed. The rules and regulations set by the hostel has to be followed properly. Otherwise you will be punished, or you are not allowed to stay there if you don't follow the rules, or if you break the rules. So there are certain rules, and those rules always you have to follow them. to maintain the discipline of the hostel. Now we move on to page number 155. So Surjit asked Divya and Swastik that you. We move on to page number 155. Divya said, we do miss them, but hostel life is fun. Even if we don't always like food, we enjoy eating together with all the children. Now, what did the Divya answer? That because Manpreet and Surjit wanted to know that whether they are missing the home and their parents or not, the food of the home, the parents and their friends. Then she said, yes, we at sometimes we do miss our home, the food at home also, but then the hostel life is also a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun in the hostel life, and we all enjoy eating together also with all the children. Even though we sometimes we don't like the food, it is not always that the food of your liking is prepared in the hostel, but sometimes the food is like that, you may not like it, but then eating together is a great fun. You know, when someone is in our hostel gets homemade food, we all rush to their rooms. The food gets finished within minutes, said Swastik laughingly. So sometimes when some visitor might have come to meet some of the students, so they bring some food from the home. So if the children come to know in the hostel that there's some food, homemade food has been is there in somebody's room, then all the children of the hostel run there and eat the food. Within minutes they finish all the food that is brought from the home. Do you study in hostel school? If you do not, try to talk with the someone who goes to a hostel school and find. सो आप कैसी स्कूल में पढ़ते हैं? हॉस्टल वाली स्कूल में पढ़ते हैं या अपने घर पे रह के पढ़ते हैं? अगर आप हॉस्टल वाली स्कूल में नहीं पढ़ते हैं तो आप किसी ऐसे फ्रेंड को जानते हैं जो हॉस्टल में रहता हो, तो उससे उसके एक्सपीरियंसेस फाइंड आउट करिए. इन व्हाट वेज हॉस्टल स्कूल इज़ डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द स्कूल. जो हम नॉर्मल स्कूल में जाते हैं और उस हॉस्टल स्कूल में क्या डिफरेंस होता है? देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंस बिकॉज फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल देयर आर सर्टेन सेट ऑफ रूल्स दैट नीड्स टू बी followed. The discipline that is inculcate the habit of doing all your work on your own. It all these things develop when you are studying in a hostel school. The normal school that we are studying it, we stay at home, so normally we don't have to do our work on our own. Our parents do all our work when we are young, but in the hostel school, even if we are young, we are small, then too we have to do all our work on our own. So we learn so many things in that. What kind of food do we get there? We get all types of food, and nutritious food is given to all the children, so that because of that growing age, the nutrients, proper nutritive food is provided to the children. Where do the children sit and eat in the boarding school? They all sit in there's a big dining hall is provided in the hostel where the children all sit. Tables and chairs are always arranged there, and where they sit and eat their lunch, dinner or breakfast, whatever they want to have. Then next is, who cooks the food for the children in the boarding school? Why are who serves the food? So there the special cooks are appointed to cook the food for the children in the hostel, and they serve them. Who washes the vessel? Again, there are few people appointed to clean the vessels, and sometimes in the hostel, some hostels it is a rule that children only have to clean their own plates, glasses, spoons or bowls that they use. Do the children miss homemade food? Yes, sometimes they miss the homemade food. Would you like to go in a boarding school? Yes, I would like to go to boarding school because I can learn many things and for the very important thing I can learn if I'm in the boarding school is how to live independently. And not depending on the parents, but to do all our work on our own. So these things we can learn, and how to live together with others also. Share how to share the things, everything I will learn if I will study in the boarding school. Now new topic is your Gurudwara. Start the new topic at the Gurudwara. You know, children, Gurudwara is a place where the Sikh people go and worship their God. So the Sikh people, as the Hindus go to temples, Muslims go to mosque, Christians go to church, same way the Sikh people go to the Gurudwara for the prayers. So the children, Manpreet, Surjit, Divya, and Swastik, they all went to the Gurudwara. The children chatted all the way to the Gurudwara. They covered their heads. No, as you all know that we enter a mandir or a masjid or any of the religious place, we have to cover our head first and then only we have to enter. The same way as the children were they reached Gurudwara, they covered the head with the handkerchiefs and then they entered the Gurudwara. They all went into kitchen of the Gurudwara. A lot of activity was going on there. Food was being cooked in huge vessels. On one side, the chana and urad dal was boiling. Now in the Gurudwara there is a system of langar daily. मतलब कि food वहाँ पे provide किया जाता है. दाल होती है, सब्जी, रोटी, चावल, everything is there, is given daily to the people who come over there. तो वहाँ पर जो होता है खाना बनाया जाता है और बड़े बड़े जो होते हैं, बिकॉज इट इज़ फॉर मैनी पीपल, सो इट इज़ कुकड इन बिग वेसल्स एंड द पीपल, many of the people give services to there, like some do cooking of food, some rolling of chapati, some cutting of vegetables, some bring materials, some give the money to bring that material. So accordingly everybody gives services in the Gurudwara. So chana dal and urad dal was being cooked in one of the big vessels. In another vessel, the cauliflower and potato vegetable was being made. और एक दूसरे बड़े vessel में यहाँ पर, as you can see, this is the picture of the kitchen of Gurudwara. So such a big vessels, you can see it is being made in such vessels. The vegetable of potato and cauliflower was being cooked. There is your papa Surjit, let us go and meet him, Swastik said. Then while they were looking at the kitchen, observing the things in the kitchen, Swastik saw Surjit's father and said that your father is there, let's go and meet him. What are you doing here? Manjeet Singh was happy to see the children. Now Manjeet Singh is the name of Manpreet's and Surjit's father. So he said that what are you all doing here? And he was very happy to see all the children over there in the Gurudwara. Uncle, can we also help in the kitchen? Now one of them asked, Swastik asked कि uncle हम भी यहाँ kitchen में help कर सकते हैं. So what are you preparing? And he asked that what was Manjeet Singh, that means Manpreet and Surjit's father was preparing. Swastik asked. Manjeet Singh said, I am preparing Kadha Prasad. It's a type of prasad that is given after the prayers are completed in the Gurudwara. Then everybody is given this prasad. It's a type of halwa only. It is it takes a lot of effort to roast the flour in ghee in this big kadhai. So it is made out of flour, मतलब गेहूं के आटे से बनता है और एक बड़ी सी कढ़ाई, क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा क्वांटिटी में बनाना होता है, तो it is made in a big vessel. So it is very difficult to roast the flour in such a big vessel. It takes a lot of effort when we have to do such things in such a big vessel. You can see such a big everywhere, because the food is cooked in large quantities, the vessels are very big. And it is known as kadha prasad. It is made in kadhai. It is big kadhai के बड़े सी कढ़ाई के अंदर बनाया जाता है, उसे कढ़ा प्रसाद बोला जाता है. This is a kind of halwa, isn't it? When you will add sugar in it, दिव्या said. तो दिव्या ने क्या बोला, ये एक तरीके का हलवाई है, अगर हम इसमें चीनी मिलाएंगे तो ये हलवे जैसा हो जाएगा. They saw Manpreet's mother and rushed to meet her. फिर उन्होंने क्या देखा, मनप्रीत की और सुरजीत की मम्मी को देखा और वहाँ उनसे मिलने चले गए. दिव्या asked, what are you doing auntie? Seva, beta, we are rolling chapatis to bake them in the तंदूर. तो उसने फिर दिव्या ने पूछा कि आंटी आप क्या कर रहे हैं, तो उन्होंने ऐसे बोला कि हम चपातीस बना रहे हैं. रोलिंग द चपातीस मीन्स चपातीस बना रहे हैं और तंदूर के अंदर इसको हमको बेक करना है. वी कुक देम इन द तंदूर. सो मेनी चपातीस एट वन को, मतलब एक साथ बहुत सारी चपातीस जो है बन जाती है. इसको देखकर दिव्या वॉज सरप्राइज टू सी that at one time so many chapatis can be made and baked. Can I help? Sure, come. तो दिव्या ने पूछा क्या हम आपको हेल्प कर सकते हैं. She said sure, you can come and help. Come and Try here, everyone can help, but first wash your hands first. तो मनप्रीत की मम्मी ने कहा यहाँ पर सब everybody can come and help, but first what you have to do is to wash your hands and then only you can start helping me, replied auntie. Now we move on to page number 157. Divya washed her hands and joined the group near the tawa. The tawa was very hot. She started applying ghee on the chapatis as they were being taken out of the tawa. तो दिव्या ने क्या काम किया, दिव्या ने कैसे हेल्प किया, जो रोटी जो थी बेक होकर या सिक कर जो तवे में से आ रही थी वो उसके ऊपर वो घी अप्लाई कर रही थी. शी वॉज अप्लाइंग घी ऑन द रोटीज विच वर बीइंग कुक्ड ऑन द tawa. And exclaimed, who brings all the materials to cook so much food? One of the ladies answered, everyone has contributed in some or the other way. And Swastik was very surprised because there were so huge quantities of things that were being cooked. So obviously we need lot of material to get these things done. So he asked that who brings so much of material to cook food. Then one of the ladies who was doing the seva replied that everybody in the some or the other way helps in doing these things. Arranges for the material, some gives money and some and money and others help in the work. तो कोई पैसे देता है, कोई सामान लाता है और कोई काम करके जो है मदद करता है. तो हर कोई अपनी अपनी तरफ से कुछ ना कुछ सेवा देता है. So Swastik, how do you feel it? Said Manpreet. So Manpreet asked, now how are you feeling about after looking at or seeing or observing all these things? Yes, I'm enjoying working with everyone. He said that it is a very nice feeling that we are working together. I'm enjoying it, said Swastik. We hardly realized how all these food items, chapatis, rice, halwa, dal and vegetable got prepared so fast. तो स्वस्तिक ने क्या बोला कि हमको तो ये आइडिया ही नहीं था कि how these things are prepared. It is chapatis is there, rice is there, then halwa is there, everything is there. So they prepared so fast. After ardas or the prayer, Kadha Prasad was distributed. Some of the boys quickly laid out mats on the veranda and all the people sat down in rows to have langar. तो जैसे अरदास से मीन्स जैसे कि प्रेयर पूरी हुई, जो प्रेयर करते हैं गुरुद्वारा में, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द अरदास. सो व्हेन द अरदास वाज ओवर, एवरीबडी was given the prasad, that kada prasad that was made, the halwa that was made, everybody was given that, and few boys then spread the mat so that everybody can sit on the mat in line and have the langar. मतलब उसके बाद जो खाना बनाया था, जो लंगर में जो रोटी सब्जी दाल चावल वो सब था, वो खाना सबको दिया जाता है. एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द लंगर इन गुरुद्वारा. जो गुरुद्वारे में खाना दिया जाता है उसको लंगर बोलते हैं. सम पीपल सर्व द फूड वाइल अदर्स सर्व्ड वाटर. एवरीवन एट टुगेदर. सो कुछ लोग सब बाकी जो लोग कुछ लोग खाना लंगर खाने के लिए बैठ गए, तो उसमें से कुछ लोग जो थे सेवा करते वो लोग ने खाना सर्व करना शुरू किया और कुछ ने पानी. आफ्टर फिनिशिंग फूड एवरीवन पिक्ड अप देयर ओन प्लेट्स एंड पुट इट इन अ बिग ड्रम. सो आफ्टर कलेक्टिंग, सबने जब खाना खा लिया तो अपनी अपनी थाली खुद ही उठाकर जो थी एक बड़े से ड्रम के अंदर रखनी थी, क्योंकि फिर उनको क्लीन भी करनी होती है. People who were serving ate the food. They cleaned the plates and washed द यूटेंसिल्स। फिर जो लोग ने सर्व किया उन लोगों ने भी खाना खा लिया और फिर सब प्लेट साफ़ करके जो है सब जो है एरिया जो था सारे वेसल्स और यूटेंसिल्स सब ने क्लीन कर लिए। हैव यू एवर बीन टू दिस काइंड ऑफ अरेंजमेंट्स? स्वस्तिक आस्ट मनप्रीत। फिर मनप्रीत ने ऐसे पूछा कि आप लोग कभी इस तरीके के कहीं खाना खाने के लिए कभी ऐसे गए हो कि नहीं गए हो? Now we move on to the next page, that is your page number 158. Here talk about it. You can see this is a picture where the people are working. Different sections of the kitchen are shown in this picture where you can see this is the chapati, दाल है, चावल है, ये सब बन रहा है। इस तरीके से बड़ा सा किचन होता है जहाँ जगह जगह पर अलग अलग चीज़ें बनाई जाती हैं। एंड दिस इज द वे हाउ पीपल सिट इन लाइन एंड ईट द लंगर। सो देयर आर, जैसे कि सिख में गुरुद्वारों में लंगर होता है, वैसे ही सारे जैसे हिंदू टेम्पल्स होते हैं, बहुत सारे ऐसे हिंदू पिलग्रिमेजेस होते हैं, वहाँ पर जो है ऐसे ही खाना सर्व किया जाता है जैसे गुरुद्वारे में किया जाता है। वैसे बहुत सारे ऐसे पिलग्रिमेज प्लेसेस हैं हिंदूज में जहाँ ऐसे सर्व किया जाता है। इट माइट बी इन अदर कम्युनिटीज़ ऑल्सो, आई डोंट हैव मच आइडिया अबाउट दैट, बट द many places I have seen in the pilgrimage that the food is served free of cost to the people who come for the darshan over there. So I hope, dear children, you all have enjoyed this lesson and learned about the food that is eaten in the gurudwara, which is called as langar, and how it is prepared. The people put all their effort with heart and soul to cook that food because it is just a type of prasad that they are preparing. तो ये सब अपने मन से और दिल से अच्छे भाव से जो है खाना बनाकर सबको खिलाते हैं. It's not necessary that it has to be the sixth, then only you can eat langar. Anybody can eat, go there and eat the langar and taste it. So dear children, it is really nice. Once you tried, I have tried out, it is really nice to eat that food. It is very very tasty and it is a prasad. तो प्रसाद तो ऑलवेज हमेशा टेस्टी ही होता है. आप लोग भी कभी कहीं जाए, कहीं और घूमने जाए, किसी गुरुद्वारे में ऐसा लंगर हो तो ज़रूर एक बार ट्राई करिएगा. सो डियर चिल्ड्रन, विथ दिस वी फिनिश दिस लेसन. नाउ विल स्टार्ट इन द वर्कबुक.